Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk about the new policy affecting people applying for green cards here in the United States and what you can do to prepare. My name is Rodrigo Canido. I'm an immigration attorney and I do videos on different immigration topics and how to get legal status in the United States. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe to this channel. All right, so the new policy in place that just came about in May of 2026 talks about limitations on people applying for a green card. The new policy discusses how people who are only here temporarily need to go back to their home country to apply for a green card there. And they mention how only in extraordinary situations will they allow people to apply for a green card here. All right. Some of the factors that they discuss in the policy as how they'll determine who gets to apply for a green card is they're going to look at people's family ties. They're going to look at your status and what's your immigration history and also your moral character. All right. Now, this is very new. It could be that something comes out after I've posted this video to clarify how this policy is actually going to work. But for now, this is what they're saying. These are some of the factors that they're saying that they're going to look at. All right. So if you want to apply for a green card and say maybe you have some type of temporary visa or maybe you have some type of criminal history, I would say it's definitely a good idea to talk to an immigration attorney. Now, I would probably say that regardless of this new policy, right? Because immigration laws can be a little bit confusing. All right, your situation could be different, very different from someone else you know who applied for a green card. So it's always good to talk to an immigration attorney. And also, it's not just about applying for a green card, right? If you apply for the green card and it's denied and say your status has expired here in the United States, then you might be placed in removal proceedings, all right? And that's a very stressful process. You may have to contract with an immigration lawyer in that situation, all right? So before you start this process and do all the paperwork and all those types of things, it's definitely always a good idea to speak to an immigration lawyer. But let's just say you're at a place where you've decided that you're going to move forward, say for example, you're married to a US citizen or one of your kids is turned 21 and is a US citizen and they want to petition you and you decided that you want to move forward. All right, so what kind of evidence might you be able to submit to help meet the new discretionary standards in this new policy? All right, so one could be evidence of family ties. So if you have a lot of family in the United States, your parents, your spouse, your kids, and they're US citizens, you could submit evidence that you live, close to them. This could be maybe birth certificates, maybe tax returns showing where they live, all right, showing you have strong family bonds here in the United States. Another one could be if you file your taxes regularly as you're supposed to, right? You're being responsible, paying your fair share to the government. All right, you could submit tax returns that you've submitted in the past. Another one could be if you are involved in different community service activities. Maybe you could get a letter from the organization that you're involved in saying that you've been involved helping the community in some way. Something else that might be helpful is evidence that you've been in the United States for a long period of time. If you've been here for, say, 30 years or for a very long period of time, evidence showing that you have been here. And that could be a lot of different things. That could be bank statements. That could be also tax returns. It could be school records, right? So anything showing that you've been in the United States for many years. That way immigration or USCIS, the officer looking at your case, might believe, well, we don't want to send them outside after they've been here for 30 years, that type of thing. Another thing you could possibly show is evidence of your property. So if you own a house, right? So it shows that you really developed, strong community ties here and you actually bought a house here. So that could also help, be looked at favorably for you when it comes to this policy and allowing you to apply here instead of having to leave the country. All right. So those are some examples of the types of evidence you might be able to show. along with the rest of your application packet. And of course, that's assuming, you qualify in all the other ways that one would need to qualify to apply for a green card here. All right. And then lastly, maybe a good piece of evidence would be just letters from friends, families, people who know you that can talk about your good moral character, how you're such a great person, that type of thing. That could also be helpful. Again, if you're not familiar with this process, it's always a good idea to talk to an attorney and see what your chances are, right, before you jump into something. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. And if you'd like to talk to me about your case, my contact information is below. Thank you.